Well, hey guys, thanks so much for being a part of this reading book club. And you were supposed to have read chapter 1. If you don't have your book, go ahead and get it and you can read it and then watch this video later. But you're supposed to have read chapter 1 for this week, and this is the way this will work. Is this will just be a video that I do. Hopefully it won't be too long. And I'll just kind of give my thoughts and ask some questions for you to consider throughout the week. And I'll just kind of help you process the chapter a little bit better. It's a really good book. Hope you enjoyed the first chapter. And as we think about getting started, I'll look at page 16 and Lana's story of her and Brad and his, he relapsed and she showed up to group in tears. Remember that? Well, notice what the author says about their first time Lana and Brad came to group meeting. And I've got it here on my notes. Author writes, Lana wanted to make sure we understood her views. I think all religions are equally valid. Actually, I'm attracted by a lot of what Eastern religions have to say about peace. And I think Jesus was a good person, a life worth emulating. But I don't know beyond that. Frankly, I don't like religious people who judge and look down on other beliefs. That's where I'm coming from, so I hope that's all right with you all. And I want you to think about this question. Is that all right with you? If Lana was in your group, would that be okay? For her to show up and ask questions, for her to be in development? As I think about Lana's story and my own processing of this chapter, I think back to, this truth that we are developmental beings. We're also communal beings. We are to develop in community. God created us to develop. And we could go into the theology of that, but we don't have time to do that. But you think about back when you were a kid, you develop physically with other people. Right? You're in school and you're all developing together. You also have people who help you, your parents, internalize the world. You're developing internally, right? You also have teachers who help you think about the world and sharpen your mind. You also have coaches who help you move about the world. And then we also have spiritual guides, pastors, and mentors who help you make sense of the world. So we are constantly in development. And we develop with others. Yet it seems when we reach adulthood, we're supposed to stop this development. Now, I think possibly it has to do with we all came out of an educational system that was invented during the industrial era, and we're all put in our date of creation dates. We're put in batches, right? And once we get through all of our training, then we are popped out of the factory and we're to go engage the world, and we're supposed to be done with development. But when it comes to the spiritual realm, that is not the case at all. We are all in development. We all are supposed to do this with others, but we push back. And I'm wondering why we do that. It's almost as if at times we don't want Lana in our group. We don't want her in our community. And I think that's a question for us to ask. Well, why don't we want her in our community? Now, in the world of psychology, there is a construct out there called self-concept. Now, really quickly, self-concept is how you view yourself and evaluate yourself. That's all it means. So adult learning tells us that adults care very deeply about self-concept to the point to where I care that the person sitting next to me that's in my community believes that I have my life all together. So how I view myself is very important because I care what they think of me. So I'm wondering if we have ever asked the deep and penetrating question that's in the realm of self-concept. Do I honestly believe that I've arrived? Do I honestly believe I have it all together? Do I honestly believe that I'm done with development? And I think if we were to come to a conclusion, and wherever you are on that answer, whether you believe, yeah, I do have it all together, I think I'm pretty good, that can help us understand a little bit better as to why we're not comfortable with the Lana and Brads. Or if you're like, you know what, I don't have it all together. That can help us kind of recalibrate how we view the Lana and Brads out there when they come to our life group. Because at Rush Creek, they are coming. We are sending them to life groups. So just a thought to think about, and we'll see you next week.